I think that if you look at the current structure of the National Disaster Management Organization, it makes it very difficult for the people with the necessary expertise and knowledge to be able to take over their organization and run the organization the way it's supposed to be run in terms of providing emergency disaster management services to Ghanaians. And it's not just governments. We've seen successive governments use NADMO as a rewarding unit where they take political party foot soldiers, who do not have the necessary expertise in terms of, providing that services that we need in terms of emergency, and putting them in these sensitive places. And we've seen the result. Year in, year out, we see the floods coming in, we see the disasters happening, and we see the kind of responses that NADMO provide. And you could see clearly that it is not up to scratch. NADMO has basically become, a relief item distribution organization. They just sit down, wait for the disaster to happen. They just take a few logistics like mattresses and a few items and go and distribute. But the work of NADMO goes beyond just distribution of relief items. It's a very technical job that needs qualified, experienced expertise of people with that technical capacity in terms of managing disasters and in terms of putting measures in place, even to prevent disasters. But what we have now, the current state of NADMO now, is not up to scratch and cannot decisively and comprehensively deal with the level of disasters that is happening, especially at this rainy moment.
Right, but do we actually have qualified people who can go into NADMO and make a difference? Have we built that kind of capacity?
Yes, of course, we have to. We have. I think we have a lot of people with expertise. Even people from the mining sector, experience with disaster management in the mining sector, and even other international organizations have that expertise. And we can take people even with that prerequisite knowledge and expertise in the area of disaster management and train them properly, or bring experts from abroad and train them properly. But unfortunately, if you look at how we are running NADMO now, the people there, it's just not up to scratch. It's not up to scratch. And we don't seem to be doing anything about it. We seem to be comfortable with NADMO, with using NADMO as a rewarding unit for political party apparatchiks and party foot soldiers. We seem to be satisfied, and we keep on losing lives and properties every year. And we come back and the same people are in charge, creating the same mess, giving the same inefficient services in terms of disaster management, and they are still being kept there in the offices.
Okay, so moving on from the foot soldiers issue, NADMO has stated that one of its major challenges is funding for its programs. I mean, a few weeks ago, there was the flooding in the Upper East region. They needed so much money to be able to help a lot of the victims, but they couldn't. I mean, when you look at the things that they were able to donate as opposed to what was needed, there was such a large deficit. Would you say that funding is perhaps a bigger issue than the quality of people that NADMO is hiring at the moment?
No, I think both issues are very important. And I think that if you have the more qualified people in place, they'll be able to also put in the necessary measures to raise the necessary funding. I don't think that NADMO should just be an ideal organization sitting down for government to draw money into their coffers for them to provide relief items to people. The work of disaster management goes beyond that, and NADMO should have a strategic unit that can also use their expertise to look for funding from international organizations and elsewhere to be able to support the activities of NADMO. But if you have lazy people sitting in their offices, always waiting for government to bring in money, then you have the NADMO that we have now. And always relief items and funding is not going to be enough if you don't get out of your offices and go elsewhere and looking for funding and support to manage your organization. And it happens in every organization. You have to have the capacity. NADMO is a credible institution, and it's a very sensitive organization. And I think that there are international organizations out there who are willing and ready to reach out and support NADMO. But they won't do so without necessary structures in place. They won't do so if NADMO still is a rewarding unit for party foot soldiers instead of qualified, renowned, and technical people with expertise in disaster management.